97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Gerard, Patrick Kinahan, the coach, Tim Lacombe, and L.J. Martin, kind enough to join us. BYU running back, preseason offensive player of the year for the Big 12. L.J., I know that's a nice honor, but in reality, you know that it's all about postseason that really matters, not necessarily preseason, but it does show a lot of respect that that people have for you and this program at BYU.
No, yeah, it's cool just to see, because last year I wasn't on any preseason team, so it kind of tells me at the same time it really doesn't mean nothing, because, it's just all preseason, so it's just all noise.
It's just print on paper, right? You actually got to go out and get the hard yards. And in doing so, obviously you got a great running mate in the backfield there in Bear Bachmeier. A pretty amazing story, his, but also yours, in terms of how you both ended up at BYU, planned on going to Stanford, and that whole thing got blown up. But just talk about his year last year and kind of what you were impressed with for a guy that was doing it for the first time.
Yeah, I was really just impressed with his decision-making. He didn't put the ball in Harton's way too many times. And, he was just really solid, just smart decisions, and just never really felt like he was pressing or anything, just kind of let the game flow to him, and he just did really well, to be honest with you. So I didn't think he was going to be that good, but he's a really good player.
I think you were a lot of other people. I thought BYU was going to be in trouble at this point, and, man, he evolved.
No, yeah.
You had the opportunity to go to the NFL, and obviously you decided to come back. So how are you going to balance having a season that is team-oriented, but maybe you need to work on some things to show the NFL people because that's your future?
No, yeah. I mean, everything that I need to work on is just going to help the team, right? So, so everything I got to work on is it's part of me being a better football player, so it's really easy.
Did you get feedback on that?
Yeah.
And
it was just more like, it was just they're really unsure of my speed. And if I were to test, I think I test really well, but I need a test. And that's part of the reason I came back, because I had my shoulder surgery, so I wouldn't have been able to test. So, that was a big part of the reason I came back.
And I'm sure your DMs were blowing up too, to stay in college but maybe go somewhere else. What was it about BYU that said not only do I want to come back, but I want to go back there and finish?
No, yeah, this is the place where I started. So, we got a great O-line. We got all the guys coming back. So it was like, why not come back and, do it here out of any other place, as well as I just really enjoyed my time here. Just love being here. And, just growing up, you always see guys just finish their whole college career at one place. So it was like, why not just cement my legacy at BYU?
How's the receiving core looking? I refuse to say room. Mm-hmm. Everybody says room, and it's like in vogue, and I'm not going to do it. So how's the depth?
They check
receiver?
all the boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they do great. I'm really excited for them. I think JoJo and Kyler are going to have a really good year.
What's another name we should look for? Somebody new.
I would say legend, Glasker. Yeah, I think he's going to be really good. And we got other freshmen as well that just came in. I feel like they'll help a lot. But then also our tight ends. I'm really excited for our tight ends. I think they're really good receivers as well as blockers, but really good receivers. I feel like they're going to help out with the passing game a lot.
How about you in the passing game? Because we're going to see Aaron Roderick probably open it up more because Bachmeier has got a whole year experience. He's a veteran now, and maybe see some different things. I'm wondering if that might be something in the arsenal that wasn't exploited as much, but we could see it going forward.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see. I think we saw it more at the end of last year, like some at UCF where I was split out and, I was on a slant and stuff like that, more like option routes at the backfield. So we kind of saw that towards the end of last year, as well as, just quick game out the backfield, when we played Texas Tech in that championship game. So I felt like with those two things, you'll see a little bit more receiving from me out the backfields.
You very wisely credit your offensive line and how good they've been. But we had Bruce Mitchell on, and he said, he makes us look good sometimes because he goes, I've been blown up a couple times, and there's a guy in the backfield. It should be a 2-yard TFL, and LJ's still able to get 5 yards out of it. Just what is it about your relationship with those guys up front that have allowed you guys to be successful, both you helping them and them helping you?
No, yeah. It takes the whole team, right? So even if they're not – my job is just to go out there and break tackles, right? So even if they're not doing their job, I at least got to break one, right? So if I'm not breaking one, I'm not doing my job. So if that's one guy that came through, then I should break that, and we should be able just to keep going, you know what I mean? So it's just knowing that they're not always going to be perfect, right, because they're trying their butts off. It's an ugly job, right? Like, no one wants to be out there blocking guys and not scoring touchdowns, right? So just knowing that, and I understand it, so I'm just trying to make their job as easy as possible, just make the right read, just make the right cut, and not try to get too fancy. I know a lot of guys sometimes they, trying to make the big play, kind of bounce outside, and it can kind of get frustrating at times because you feel like the guy doesn't trust you to make your block. But with every cut, I'm trusting them. I know that they're going to make their block, and if they don't, then that's my opportunity to make someone miss and then still get more.
What's it been like during this time that you've played college football? It's been as wild a time as ever that I can remember. I've been watching college sports forever for all the NIL, and a lot of it's positive, but it's led to a lot of ins and outs in the locker room. And I coached college basketball, and like the locker room's sacred. Like if your locker room's got to be pretty good for you to win. How do you guys keep it tight in there? Because there's some of you have stuck around, but a lot of in and out.
Oh, yeah, I think a lot of us are there for the right reasons, if that makes sense. We're all here for a common goal, just to get better, possibly win a championship, right, and just win games. So we all want the best for each other, as well as if we're all here for the right reasons, I mean, there's no reason to leave. So, yeah, I would say that's what makes it really easy. I mean, none of us are really, like, for me, I know me personally, like, I'm not concerned with anything else. I'm just here to win games, and that goes a lot pretty much for most of the guys in the locker room, and those who aren't pretty much end up leaving. So you see it all the time. So that's why I think we're able just to keep it sacred, because everyone who stays for the right reasons, and everyone who leaves is just
looking for something else.
Looking for something else, and that's why we're able to be so good.
I love watching you run because it seems like you're always on balance and you're smooth. It's almost like you glide the way you run. It's a very smooth stroke. How would you describe your running style?
Yeah, I would say like it's a balance, right? Because you want to be physical, of course, and then you also want to be able to be agile. So just knowing that it's just using the best of both worlds, because I would say I'm a bigger back, but also I'm able to make people miss. So just using that to my advantage, because people are going to try to come down and thump me. So just knowing that they're going to come down out of control because they feel like they got to hit me really hard. Now I can make them miss. Or if they don't come down hard enough and they're waiting, and now I know I could just go and pretty much punish them and just run them over. So it just makes it easy just having a balance and being able to do both.
So when, look, everybody wishes they could play football at your level. Everybody, so a lot of us live vicariously through you. So, in the eyes of a fan or somebody that loves football, what's it like when it's 3rd and 1 or it's goal line and everybody knows where the ball's going and where, and the defensive line, everybody knows that it's probably going to be you to try to get that first down or try to get it into the end zone, and it's just muscle versus muscle. Like what are those moments like as a running back?
No, yeah, it's awesome, right? Because that's what I live for, to compete, right? So it's just like the ultimate like competitor right there, right? Third and 1, 4th and 1. It's like it's us versus them. Like we got to move people and we just got to get it. So there's times where it opens up greatly and we're just right through. There's other times where it's all clogged up and shoot, you just got to I'm hitting Bruce in the back and I'm just dragging him forward, it's stuff like that. And they're just pushing me. I get hit and I'm in the backfield, but I'll stay up and they're just pushing me forward. So it's stuff like that. And then also there's other times where, like, I can remember a time last year in the Texas Tech championship game on the first drive, the D tackle slammed someone and he was just right there waiting. I made a jump cut and got there and we got the first down. It was just like, and it's just awesome, right? Because that's the times like you live for, like, it's the ultimate time like where your team needs you to do something and you get the ball and you're like, I can't go down no matter what. Like, I can't go down, right, because I'm letting all these people down. So I'm just trying to do whatever I can to get that first. And, sometimes it works out. Other times they just get the best of us. But that's competition,
That's
right?
life.
So, yeah.
LJ, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Good luck this upcoming season.
Thank you for you guys.
As we look forward to catching up with the man himself.
Oh, there he is.
Yes. Take a seat.
Been talking to him
fella.
for years in different colors, no less.
The Minister of Defense.
Keanu Tanuvasa, kind enough to join us. How are you, man?
Great, sir. How about yourself?
You know what? I'm doing a lot better now. We get to chat with you. How is your summer going all right?
It's been great. Yeah, I've got a lot of time to spend with the wife, a lot of time to spend with the boys, getting ready for a baby coming in November. So taking advantage of what I got now and then excited for what's to come.
You came in with a big reputation, right? You did great things at Utah and expecting to do those things at BYU. Now you're going into your second year. Do you feel like personally that you want to ramp up expectations for yourself even more?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think at Utah, I was blessed to have 3 years there, and I think going into the last year, I made Utah my own. I knew what the scheme was. I knew who my coaches and my teammates were, and I made it my own. Coming into BYU last year, I had a lot of expectations that were difficult to adjust to, considering that I still had to learn the defense, had to learn my teammates, and I had to learn the culture and the style. Well, I feel like I've made it my own. It feels like that third year at the University of Utah that I was blessed to perform so well that I'm so excited to go into this season because I've made it my own again.
What's the locker room at BYU like when Kalani's out in front right before you guys take the field? I imagine that guy can captivate that locker room, but excited to hear his voice and be able to do that the very first game.
Yeah, Kalani's as you know, he's a very well-spoken man. He's calm and collected, which is great because I think the team needs that presence there. But when the time is necessary to get right and to get excited, to get amped, I think he definitely is able to ignite that fire right before we step out.
And the dancing's not bad either.
Oh, the dancing's great.
He's really got it.
He's got the moves. He's got them.
All right, so I want to go through a scenario here, and it's a what will you do? Because I guarantee you've had these conversations.
Sir.
Let's say you're in a hotel room, November 6th, and
What's November 7th?
That's maybe the Utah game.
Okay, I didn't know
and then
that.
all of a sudden you get a phone call from the missus. She's like, "Hey, these things are like 90 seconds apart."
Yeah.
What happens there in the Tanuvasa house?
Oh, that's a great question.
Don't answer it, man. You don't have to. Just wait till the time comes and then make your choice.
Hold on. Just wait about 36 hours. Everything will be good.
Exactly. I'm just going to tell her, hold on a little bit.
Just trying to save you
Hold
some
it in.
marital.
Take some deep breaths.
Exactly. I'll probably – God's timing is perfect. I can't argue with it. So if it's time, the baby takes definitely more of my life over that rivalry game. But the Lord will make it so I can play.
Yeah.
Have faith.
Exactly.
He's got faith. He's bigger than you.
Little faith, Scotty. He's from Logan, It's a Logan thing.
The BYU defense has been fascinating to see it develop under Jay Hill and now Kelly Papinga these last few years. The linebackers have got a ton of run, and even the secondary, which historically hasn't been one of BYU's stronger points, but they're developing defensive backs, and we just had Evan Johnson, potential pro player, and now it's like the spotlight has turned from where it might have been before at the back end to the front end. It's like, oh man, these guys, they've got to get pressure on that quarterback, blah, blah, blah. And we know you in the middle, but you're not going to be able to do it alone. Tell us about the brothers on the offensive line that you believe are ready to make this contribution to where, all right, the defensive line is just as good as the linebackers in the secondary.
For us on the defensive line, I think we've recognized that we need to step it up a little bit. I think last year was great. I think it was a little difficult. I think Jay Hill ran his defense a little bit around Jack Kelly and Glasker, which was great, and it worked for us, as you can see. But now it's sticking to with K-Pop taking over, who was our DN's coach, is letting the pass rush be between the big boys up front and adding a backer here and there. It's being wise with our timing about when we choose to blitz, but letting the boys eat. Let them get after it. Don't just try and open up gaps for linebackers, but let's get home. And I think not just that coming from Coach K-Pop, but that's a thing that's happened for me as well that I recognized last year learning the defense. I was wanting to open up these gaps for my linebackers and wanting to eat these blocks so that we could make these plays. I'm at the point that it's like I can do that, and I can also do that 5 yards in the backfield. They'll stick to me if I'm getting off the ball and I'm winning in the backfield. And so we're looking forward to implementing that more going into this year. And with Justin Kirkland being back and his big body up and frame up front, Hunter Clegg being more developed, Tau Seeley, we got Nusi Tamoipeau. We got a lot of guys that are phenomenal. Anisi Purcell, Bodie Schoonover, that can pass rush. They just need to mentally see it and go do it.
I think that's really an interesting point because so much of what you guys did was space eating, essentially not letting offensive linemen get to the second level, keeping your linebackers clean. To have a coach that says, no, guess what? You guys get a feast at the big boy table too.
Yep.
I can't imagine the energy that brings to the table.
It's very exciting. It's what we've wanted. As a defensive lineman, you want to create havoc. And that's what we want to do as a collective unit is we want to beat the guy in front of us. And if we can, let's take two of them. But let's do it getting into the backfield. Let's do it dominating towards the quarterback and towards the running back so we can make plays as well.
Last year, you were kind of big news, making a move, and now it's not even a big deal anymore. Kyle Whittingham said, "Hold my beer." I'm going to go to Michigan. But that having that transition year under your belt, being at BYU, and being able to set down roots, how big is that going into the season for you?
Absolutely critical. I think I'm a person that builds from the foundation up, and I think when I tried to shift the foundation from the U to BYU, it didn't hold too well. And so I played well. It was good, and I'm proud of what I did. But I know that there's more in me, and that was what was eating me alive after games last year. Was people would compliment me and people would love us because we'd win these games, and I didn't feel like me. Now with my feet in the ground, I've stepped into the water and the sea is parted. I can see the goal. I'm moving towards it, and I'm excited to play this year.
You're talking about that goal being this year too, but there's a little bit of a longer range goal, and that would be the NFL. Do you allow yourself to think about that?
A little bit. I try not to get consumed in it. I think I did that my third year at Utah, and it was a little bit too much focus on, I got to get to the next level. Yeah. The best players know how to live in the moment, and the best players know how to perform in today. And so if I can handle one game at a time and get a sack against Utah Tech and get a tackle for loss and blow up my gap, well, then let's move on to Arizona and let's do that and so forth.
Yeah, and you got Arizona right off the bat. That's a huge conference game in week 2.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to get you fired up because whoever wins that game has a leg up.
Yeah. Yeah, as much as people would classify it as a non-conference game, everyone's going to take it as that. And so we're looking forward to starting fast. That's a huge motto going into this year. Is we had 6 comeback victories last year. That's way too many.
Yeah.
We got to start fast from Utah Tech and then go into Arizona and stack. Just as the workouts we've stacked from start to finish, we're stacking games, and we're excited to play Arizona. I just got to not get kicked out this game.
Yeah. Yeah, man, come on. We're counting on you.
He's a hard QB to tackle, man.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
5'6".
Yeah, a little taller.
There's only a little bit rain. Yeah, he's a little taller. I got to make fun of him.
I had a premonition you're going to get him this year.
Oh, I'm going to get him.
Yeah, you'll get him.
Yeah, I got him in high school. He knows.
I was going to say, did you
for
know Fafita personally? Because you obviously referenced him.
Yeah, we knew each other, and we texted. We've texted a lot over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I saw it. You'll get him. I enjoy that one.
Hey,
it's coming.
I was talking to one of your defensive coaches, and he mentioned, look, there's some losses there, but said Cade's turned a lot of eyes in camp. What have you seen out of him?
Cade is a downhill player. That man plays fast, and I love it. That's one reason that I feel a little bit more comfortable shooting gaps is I know he's going to have his, and I know he's going to make a play. If that ball is within 4 to 5 feet, he's leaving his feet, but he's downhill, and it takes him only a couple steps before he's making contact. So I love his downhill speed. I love the way that he plays, and he wants to hit. I mean, Bruce knows there was a blitz that happened in spring ball, and Cade gave it to him. So I'm excited to see how it goes.
Which we'd have known that before.
I know. We just asked
Bruce about it.
I'm sure
we would have lit him up.
I'm sure he's not too brokenhearted about that.
You mentioned something about this, but I just want to reiterate. Obviously, the big question for people that talk about stuff like this is Jay leaving and Kelly coming in. As a defense, you're 100% confident in what Kelly can do and his abilities.
Absolutely. He's a hardworking man, and he's intelligent, and he has the energy. I love Coach K-Pop, and I think he's a BYU man through and through. Obviously, I think there's development to be had in everyone as he's taking over as a defensive coordinator. But I don't think that there's a man more dedicated to becoming the best defensive coordinator he can. He's definitely not as veteran as Jay Hill because it's his first year, but he's dedicated and he's committed, and that's who we are. I mean, we're men that are committed to our craft, but we're not professionals yet, and we're getting there. So as a collective unit, I'm excited.
You seem like a old soul, and I mean that in a good way. Like
he did at Utah. I interviewed him a bunch of times there. Always seemed it.
You have a bigger perspective on things than maybe a lot of young men your age. Where does that come from? To be able to have a bigger perspective on the long-term plans as opposed to just what's in front of you right now. From my upbringing, I'm just grateful to my mom and dad. They've blessed me with
vision that supersedes the moments that we're living in. You live in the moment and you don't worry about the future, but you have to pay attention to it and you have to prepare yourself for success. And I think that came up from the gospel and understanding what's to come. And I think that came from great parents. That's who I've been born to. And it comes from, the baby coming soon.
Do you know, boy, girl?
The baby boy.
Nice.
We got a name?
Baby Sam.
Oh, I got a son named Sam. Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Perfect name.
Let's
Love
go.
Tight end, or are you going to have him on the interior?
Oh, he's playing O-line for sure.
Yeah.
With my wife's genes and my genes, if he's not playing basketball, he's playing O-line.
I love it. And, hey, congratulations, man. We're
Thank
fired
you.
up for you.
Appreciate you, gentlemen.
There he is, Keanu Tanuvasa, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
Now it's go time.
Okay.
Got my people.
Joining us now, he is the athletic director at Brigham Young University, Brian Santiago. Kind enough to carve out a few moments for us. How are you, sir?
I'm great.
What's up, B?
I got to give a little love to my peeps. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
What's up, Tim?
Because you're making the rounds, and everybody wants to chat with you. But you know what? We'll keep it close to home for you. How are things?
Yeah, things are great. Super excited. Super excited. We're at this time of year where we're getting ready to launch into the best part of the fall, and that's when football kicks off. I'm a guy that just wants to get the focus as soon as possible back on the coaches and players and let them fly. And hopefully soon there's some order in college sports so we can get the focus back where it needs to be.
You feel like we might be on a path towards that?
Yeah, I mean, you guys heard the commissioner talk about the Protect College Sports Act. What we're all looking for is just some order, to find some sort of a platform, some sort of sustainable model that actually protects college sports. I don't think there's any AD in the country that's sitting around going, man, this is awesome. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened.
Get another wheelbarrow of cash.
It's so much fun to sit and figure out where you're going to come up with tens and 20s of millions of dollars, because there's got to be a sustainable model. Super grateful to be at a school where we've been blessed with resources and donors and corporate sponsors that are helping us navigate this. Super grateful to be at a school where we have an administration up through our president, Shane Reese, that is helping us navigate these tricky waters. But yeah, guys, like, we got to find some sort of sustainable model that the universities are going to be excited about, the coaches, the players, like, everyone's going to go, yeah, this is actually the way it's supposed to be.
So can I ask you a dumb question then?
There's no dumb questions.
If everybody, I believe you, ADs I'm sure wanted something, structure, something, right? And we've got bipartisan legislation that's in the works. So this is the dumb part. What's in the way? What's standing in the way?
Well, it depends on who you talk to, but a free market, right? I mean, you've got universities saying we need some structure and limitations and some caps, right, for a sustainable model. And then you have a whole wave of free agents saying we don't want any cap. We don't want any model. We want to be able to maximize everything we can do. I think that there are some out there and universities out there that are also advocating for no limits. But it's not a sustainable model. So, somebody was just asking me and using the words breaking away and what if all, and I'm like, yeah, as soon as you start talking about a college sports model that's all about breaking away,
You're going to lose people.
You're going to lose. To me, it's a lose proposition. I'm all about unifying. Like, how can we come together and get a model where everyone wants to be a part of it, everybody from presidents on down? You just have to look around the country. There are very few athletic departments operating in the black. Well, I know you guys know all about business. If you
Same
keep
maybe.
operating in the red year after year, it doesn't end well.
At least that's what I've heard, Brian. From my research, that's what I've heard.
But I say that very respectfully. We have to find a model that allows universities and athletic departments to operate in a sustainable way financially. Super grateful. I've said this to you guys before. I'm super grateful to be at a university where it's mandated. We don't have an option to operate upside down. We're going to operate with the principles that we've been taught, and we're going to try to make sure we're bringing in more than we're spending. And in athletics at BYU, we don't receive funds. Contrary to what everybody in the world believes, that we have unlimited funds because of the church, we have to be self-sustaining in athletics at BYU. We don't receive funds directly from the church and allocated funds. We're trying to make sure we operate in a model where our revenues exceed our expenses, and it's a mandate. So I'm just grateful to be at an institution that, not number one, mandates that. Number two, where we're fortunate enough to have the support to do that.
How juiced are you for this football team?
Let's go. I don't know.
Your guys seem great. The guys we talked to seem locked in.
You look at those guys that are here, starting with LJ and Bear. Keanu Tanuvasa is one of the great leaders in college football. I mean, you don't get better people than that. You got Glasker here, Bruce Mitchell. I mean, who can tell me that story?
And Evan's awesome too.
And then you look at it, like all of them, like Shmev, Evan, like all those guys, being with them last night, the energy, the connected nature of them, but the way they represent, and they're stinking dang good football players. I know I get excited.
I love when he starts to lean forward.
But listen, like these dudes can play football. They're the best dudes on planet Earth. But if you're just the best dudes on planet Earth and you can't play, you don't have a story to tell. That's what I love about what Kalani and our A-Rod got K-Pop moving in to that defensive coordinator spot. But the amount of talent that's in the program, the elevation of the program, the national relevance, knocking on the door of college football playoff, and then we get to tell the story of these guys. That's what gets me excited, because if we're not good, nobody cares. We have to be good. And we are great. And Kalani's elevated that program where we are nationally relevant and we've got a story to tell. It's unbelievable. It gets me fired up because, our whole goal is to go play great football. But there's a bigger purpose. We got to prepare and continue to prepare these guys to go fly. Those dudes that are here, those 6 guys, are going to go change the world. Those are incredible humans. And man, can they play football. I'm so excited to watch them play.
When you over the last, even I'd say the last 2 or 3 years, there's been a transition from, I'll use AJ for example. AJ signs at BYU and people are like, BYU. And now every 5-star recruit out there has a BYU logo as one of his final 4, final 5, that he's predicting. It went from, why BYU to, well, here's a 5-star, why is BYU not in his final 5? That transition's happened really quickly, where it's cool to be at BYU. How did that happen so quickly?
Yeah, I give all the credit to our coaches and the elevation of the programs, but I don't want to miss the opportunity to give credit where credit's due. Our move to the Big 12 elevated it significantly as well. I mean, some of the best players in the country wouldn't consider BYU. Tim knows this firsthand, of the battle that they had.
I thought it was just me.
The battle they had going into living rooms saying, hey, we want you to come to BYU. Oh, we respect your program. We love your program, but we want to play in this conference or that conference. That Big 12 elevation happened, but I also think the elevation of the national brand, the elevated brand of BYU nationally with the coaches, right? All of a sudden, the best players in the country are saying we want to go to BYU. Right, they're, like you say, you're seeing it when Ryder Lyons gets up in front of the cameras. Recently, with some of the other big recruits in the country, I'm going to BYU. People that aren't associated with BYU are choosing BYU. Right, we just happened with 2 or 3 of our football recruits in the room stand up and go, "Hey, I'm canceling trips to 2 or 3 other big schools. I'm coming right here. This is where I want to come. This feels like family here. It's part of who we are. It's our strength, and we're seeing more and more people outside of the BYU circle saying we want to be there, and then the big names that are associated with BYU and want to be at BYU are choosing BYU. It's a huge thing, but I give all the credit to the coaches and the student athletes, because really they're the ones on the front end of the recruiting. And at the end of the day, who do I want to really be around and be mentored by and coached by? I'm going to BYU, Kalani Sitake. I could name every guy on our staff. I want to be around Bear. I want to be around Keanu. I want to be around these players. Oh, Kevin Young has brought incredible credibility, right? A.J. DeBonsa chose BYU because of Kevin Young and his ability, and the staff and the people around him, the support staff, but their ability to prepare him for what he's in right now, because KY had been there. And it's going to continue to happen. But I go a little further. You look down the line, Kihei Akina. The guy's one of the best in the country.
Seriously.
Why does he choose BYU? Because of the coaches, because of the brand, because of the history and the legacy. Jane Hendegren, best in the country. Diljit Taylor. Why do they choose BYU? Because of the coaches. So I'm always, and Tim knows this being around me, I'm always going to point back to the people that deserve the credit. My responsibility is to make sure that the right coaches are in place, because if you have the right coaches in place, and I'm super humbled and grateful that Kalani chose BYU, continues to choose BYU, KY continues to choose BYU. We've got to make sure we have the right coaches in place, and then we're going to fly. This place is next level. I say it all the time, and I'm biased. There's no better place, and there's no better time to be part of BYU than right now.
So I give you a lot of credit after the Sorsby mess and the athletic director meeting. You jumped on with these two guys like the next day, and I thought it was a great interview, and I thought you were as transparent as you could be. And then we see other ADs say things and other reports come out, and I'm curious, what is the relationship like internally with the schools now, and what do you think of Brett Yormark's leadership through that particular crisis?
I thought the conference handled things really, really well. I love Brett Yormark's energy, his progressive nature. He's constantly trying to build the Big 12 brand. But specific to your question, I love that he talks about united, 16 strong. We got to be together. In the room, there's going to be tension. There are going to be issues that arise where there's tension. But it's always a focus on 16 strong, united front. Got to be together, resolve our issues inside, not outside. Right? I think it's critical. I think the Big 12 has done a masterful job in some tricky situations.
I'd say.
Handling it internal. We handle our business. We handle our struggles internally. Let's get it resolved. Let's get in the room. Let's make sure that we get things resolved. I'm super impressed with not just the Big 12 leadership, but our board, which are the presidents, the executive committee. You have some of the brightest minds out there leading the charge. They've done a great job of continuing to spread that message of 16 strong, united front.
I'm probably the only one, of this group that knows this, but above your door, the initials FAW.
Yeah.
Find a way.
Yeah.
And it's something you've been talking about since I met you way back when. How important has that been since you took over this position? To find a way. I mean, is every day a find a way thing?
Yeah, Tim, it's a great question. First of all, every time I hear that,
I'm a media member, CB.
I know.
Look
at you. Every time I hear that, I think about. First of all, I think about my coach, Gary Colson, who's passed on and is my guy. But he's the one that sent me that sign, and he always used to tell me when I was playing for him, he said, "B, what I love about you is you just always find a way. Like you never let up. You always find a way." And he sent me that wooden sign above my door. It just says FAW. And I just am someone that believes in life there's always a way. We can always find a way. It usually means that you got to have great relationships. You got to tie into other people. But in this role, Tim, just about it comes into play all the time, where challenges come and what's the resolve? right? Are we going to let it knock us down and put us underwater, or are we going to stand up and say, no, there's a way. We can find a way, and a great way that'll even make us stronger. And we said it going into COVID, we're going to come out of this stronger, and we did, right? When a lot of things were going the opposite direction, every day we woke up, let's find a way we're going to come out of this stronger, and BYU came out of COVID stronger. Now in this current landscape with all the turbulence, our motive every day is to come out of it stronger. We're going to find a way. We're going to find a way to continue to elevate, keep this positive momentum going. You guys can feel it. There's a wave of positive momentum in Provo that we feel a huge responsibility to keep that momentum rolling.
I want to get a history lesson a little bit from you, because we were at a station function, and at that point we were owned by the Millers, and a good friend of ours, Don Sterling, with the Jazz. It was when you made the first pitch to the Big 12 that they decided to stay put for then. And I remember talking to him, and he said, Brian Santiago knocked that pitch out of the park. And he goes, I don't know if it's going to lead to anything tomorrow, but it's going to lead to something down the line. How much do you feel like the work that you put in early, you and your team, put in early, led to the success of being eventually into this conference?
Yeah, I think it's a super insightful question. Number one, I love Don Sterling, and he was super helpful in that process. We gathered probably 7 or 8 leaders around the state that had interest in BYU in a room, and we brainstormed, how are we going to elevate BYU's brand and our preparation to get into a power conference in a unique way that'll capture their attention. So there was a room full of really powerful minds. We came up with an all-in campaign that, to cut a long story short, we didn't get in that initial presentation in 2016. But the word that they used was extraordinary.
Yeah.
What you just presented to us was extraordinary. They were mind-blown on a number of fronts, including the fact, and it goes back to this financial viability, what do you mean, they asked us, that you don't have any institutional debt? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Let us explain it to you. Our sponsoring institution. But this is what happened. Fast forward, and there were reasons we didn't get in then. There were media reasons. There were financial reasons. I'm not disclosing anything. It leaked out there. There was reasons for them to stay where they stay put. But what happened when Texas and Oklahoma left? All that work we had done, the word came back. We already know who you are from 2016. You're an extraordinary institution. And they invited us. We were gearing up for another presentation, how are we going to convince them? And their words were, extraordinary, we already know who you are. We want to, and they called Tom and said, we want to invite you to be part of the Big 12. That was huge. But that preparation, what was put together and all that work behind the scenes had already painted the picture to where we didn't need to go try to convince anyone again. They already knew what was happening, and we were able to launch really into a whole new world for college athletics in BYU. Being part of the Big 12 has elevated the BYU brand in a massive way. And I hear from people all over the world that are part of Cougar Nation say, oh, if this is what it's going to be, we're in. We're in. What do you need to continue to elevate? Because now when you talk about universities that are in, our name's right there. People are college football, they're talking about BYU. College basketball, they're talking about BYU. College, you name it, they're talking about BYU. We're super excited about the future and what's to come.
Being quarterback at BYU is something special.
It's amazing.
It's a long line, and I guess a two-part question. One, how is Bear Bachmeier handling the, on the field we see it, but the off the field, the celebrity, and just how much does having a QB1 at BYU mean to the entire athletics department?
Yeah, Bear is a very unique leader, I would say. He has a very interesting way about him that's handling this in an extraordinary way. He's just Bear. You guys have been around him. He doesn't try to put on. We're in our executive meeting the other day. We're all up there talking about all things college sports, and in walks Bear with his guitar, shorts and a T-shirt and flip-flops, sits down, starts playing and singing to us. Sounds like another person I know.
Yeah, sounds like our staff meeting.
FaceTime you, baby.
Yeah.
But here was the thing about it is I think he just has a humility about him and a quiet confidence that allows him to just elevate as QB1. And that leadership, we all know when you're the QB1, all those guys in front of you, all those guys behind you, they want to migrate to someone that they know has that quiet confidence that's going to make everyone around them better. And that's what I think Bear does. Like, I watch him interact with our guys even on this trip. He's got a presence about him that is different. It's unique. I don't pretend to be a in-the-weeds football guy. I'm a passionate football guy from a standpoint of support and all those things for Kalani. But a week or two into fall camp last year when they were still trying to measure everything, I watched for a couple of days and I just walked up and said, one of these is not like the other. And I have no idea what X's and O's are going on in the field, but one of these guys is not like the others. He just had a presence about him that was super impressive.
And that to me is like that stuff doesn't happen. We're talking about, teams that are packaging millions of dollars to go get a quarterback at schools like BYU.
Right.
And then this guy does what he does last year. It's fascinating.
Bear on the loose.
Yep.
When you look across where college athletics is right now, and there's a lot of people, and I love the fact that you brought up COVID too, because COVID broke a lot of people.
Yep.
But it broke a lot more people than it made, because there were a lot of people that were shutting their doors and just saying, okay, we can't do anything. And I loved when you guys said, no, we can play. And the SEC said, no, we can play. And it just kind of stopped everybody for a moment and been like, hey, these guys are going to try this. Maybe we should be pretty quick. And then the NIL thing, which I agree, there needs to be guardrails. There needs to be a system. But there's also okay, what can we do to take this to our advantage? Yeah. Where does that mindset come from, where BYU has turned into you know what, let's not let a crisis go to waste. Let's take advantage of opportunities that are available to us.
Yeah, I like it's opportunity. And you just used the word, it's opportunity. Like in those moments, oftentimes in adversity is when we define our excellence. And in those moments, Tom, myself, president at the time, like everyone was all in to say, what kind of opportunity, what can we do to make this great? How can we come out of this stronger? We can just all take our ball and go to the corner and hide. Or we can say, hey, let's go. Like, let's go find a way. And that's exactly what we ended up doing. And at the time when we were independent, we actually had a chance to put all those games together. Is there anybody else that'll play? Everybody said, let's play, and boom. We were able to capitalize on it, put together a schedule. I give credit to Tom. Because he kind of took the lead in putting that schedule together. But our team, our coaches, everybody was like, let's go, let's be in. Let's find a way to test so that we can actually go get on a plane and go. Like we put all of our resources in and found ways to make it happen. You guys know this about life. It doesn't just happen. You got to go make it happen. And that's what we were able to do but it was a combined effort. You got to go make stuff happen. That's why we were able to come out of COVID stronger.
You got a 40-yard dash in you today?
Yeah, I
Can
do.
we race?
My legs are a little tired. I ran 6 miles yesterday. I don't do that very often.
Where'd you play this morning?
Didn't play this morning. I wanted to.
Okay.
It's load management today.
Okay.
It's load management. But
I got some
I'll
hookups here. I'm sure you do too.
No, let's go. It's super nice to be with you guys.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks for
Brian.
coming by. It
Brian.
means a lot.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Brian Santiago, athletic director at BYU, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. All right, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, live here at Big 12 Media Day as we've got complete coverage. And we've got you, look, from top to bottom. Can't beat what's going on here. And joining us now,
the stud
from BYU, Isaiah Glasker, kind enough to join us. How are you, sir?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing?
We're fired up, man. It's good to chat with you. How's the offseason been for you?
It's been great. Really just recovering. I had surgery on my shoulder not too long ago, but it's feeling great now. So,
Isaiah, you had a breakout season, a breakout game last 2 years ago in this very state, up the road a little bit against SMU. Who's that number 16 kid? Wow. And then you've carried it through the whole season, and last year, we know who you are. Now you're going into your third year of being a big-time player. and we expect big things out of you, and I know we'll get it. I'm wondering, you had a little change with Jay Hill versus Kelly Papinga, and cornerback coach, not your position, leaves too to go to Michigan. What's the change been like, and what can we expect if anything is different?
Well, really, Papinga, he's a linebacker guy. So
Your guy.
Yeah, for sure. Really, just having him and Kalani, it's been great. And I don't know, them allowing us to play free. I feel like Jay Hill was a great coach, and he's going to be super successful in Michigan. But I'm super excited to see what Papinga is going to bring. So.
You lose a little bit of help there in that linebacking core. Zach Kelly, there's so many guys, Jack Kelly, sorry, brought so much to the table. How do you fill those roles, not just on the field, but in the locker room as well?
Yeah, really, Jack Kelly, I'm going to miss that guy. But we just got this transfer from Cal, Kedu Luave, and he's looking like a stud. So I'm super excited to play with him. And then you got guys like Siale Acera, Ace Kafusi, these other guys that I think can make some noise too. So,
by the way, I was talking to Gary Anderson, and he brought up that name specifically. He said, "Watch out for this guy. He's going to be a problem."
Which one?
Cuddy.
Hey, if Isaiah's saying that, then I'm going to definitely make a note of that, because you're a guy that definitely made a ton of highlight films last year and highlight plays. This season, an opportunity to take another step and continue to lead, be a leader out there. How are you approaching that part of your job this year?
Well, I feel like really even from last year, these older guys like Jack Kelly, being able to, be in the same room as him, see what type of leader he was, and really just help these young guys that are coming up to, just learn the plays and kind of get in the system and how stuff works at BYU. So.
This is really your time, thinking that, because you're going to go off to the NFL, and I know you don't really want to talk about the NFL because you're focused on this year, but it's not like a make or break, but in a sense, this is your last chance at the college level. Mm-hmm. And what does that mean to you to be able to make sure individually, I'm sure you'll go out on a high note, but have the team too, because that's it for you?
Really, I feel like every year we just get one step closer. Like the year before, 11-2, barely missed the playoffs. This past year, but we 12 wins, barely missed the playoffs. And I feel like this year, if we could just take one more step closer, then I feel like we can get there. So.
You kind of, especially with the quarterback situation, you kind of flew under the radar a little bit going into last year. You got a big bullseye on your chest this year. Everybody's looking at you. What's that mentality shift like for this team?
I feel like really we don't take that into part. I feel like we're more focused on just what we can do as a team. We're not too worried about what everybody else is doing, as long as we can figure out and do the things that we need to do. I feel like we can make big things happen. So.
The offensive side of the ball got a great news in the offseason when LJ decided to come back, and certainly helps Bear a lot. How's the offense looking? Those guys probably getting together and doing some timing drills and things like that, but your thoughts on the offense?
I think the offense is going to be great. We got LJ coming back. Bear's going into his second year, so I feel like he's only going to be experienced. And then our receiver room's great. I got my little cousin.
I was going to ask you about your cousin, yeah.
Yeah, he's looking – during spring ball, he was looking
freshman.
really good. Mm-hmm. So I think we'll be just fine.
Well, good luck this upcoming year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out with us. Enjoy your time here.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Isaiah Glasker right here on 97.5, the EKSL Sports Zone. Take another break. Come back as we continue on Big 12 Media Day coverage right here in Frisco, Texas on the Zone.
Overwhelmed? That was me with diabetes. Hey, I'm Jabron. Between teaching and coaching, managing diabetes felt like an extra job. With the Freestyle Libre 3 CGM, I get real-time glucose readings and have the insights to make informed decisions. My life feels lighter now. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
The views expressed should not be used for medical diagnosis or treatment as a substitute for professional medical advice. Individual circumstances may vary. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.